Welcome to Henry County Airport here. We are getting ready for leg 21 of Walker Air Transport's Nascar 2022 series. I always mess that up. Alright, so if you're new to the series, or even if you're not, the plan today is I'm using FSLTL. So let's see, it doesn't look like it loaded anything into the airport, but it's, a little regional airport, so not surprising, but we should have stuff around. We're going from Henry County Airport, right outside Atlanta Speedway, and we're going up to Concord Municipal in New Hampshire. So this would have taken place, the race was July 17th, 2022. But, we're technically here, we're pretending we're flying on July 16th. And this would have, in this year, in 2024, they're heading to Pocono for this week, which we'll be heading to next week in 2022. So things are a little bit differently, set up differently here. Trying to use self-loading cargo with AI voices, so I've made one change where we're going to have a different captain voice from last flight. What I'm trying to do is make use of all the free characters I have, so there are two AI options. So I'm using a captain from 11 Labs, and I'm continuing to use the crew from Play HT, which are the two options they use, and my hope is the cabin crew then will have most of the messaging it needs, and it won't require that many characters to proceed. The other thing that I have changed is I did find out from the creator of SLC through Discord, so they're very responsive, or relatively responsive. They're keeping track of things there. So I did explain what was happening where we had, in essence, the Double Mint twins last time, and they were both saying the same thing. He just said, well, turn the second one off to none, and then you don't have that. Which makes sense, because, maybe in a really large airliner, having two cabin crew that potentially speak with you or do things makes sense. But on a little Cessna, where at most we have 10 passengers, or 12, I think, and two cabin crew, I don't need two people talking to me and so forth, so we're going to go ahead and get moving here. So we're going to turn on power, and then we're just going to need to make sure we get the doors open. Alright, so that's the manual thing I need to do. Emergency lights are not armed. We are going to get the avionics on. So we're supposed to be loading in 18 minutes, so just be aware. I may trim some of this out. We'll see how things go. But we're going to get things loaded as quickly as we can. So I'm going to go to my index here, the route menu, flight plan recall. It should pull from SimBrief. Obviously everything's getting aligned. There we go. It's pretty quick in the Cessna here, as you can tell. So we're going to execute. That's going to get some things set up. Go to departure arrival. We are leaving on runway 6. Nothing else to put in there. And in Concord, we will be doing an ILS 36. And no vectors, so yeah, pretty simple, because we've basically just got to do direct both out of this airport and into the ILS leg. So we'll see if we request terminal weather, if we'll get anything. Okay, we're going to be cruising at flight level 310. Set that up ahead of time. And we've got winds 90/08. See if that takes it. Yep. Temperature, again, we're down in Atlanta, but it's cooled off. It was 35 when we came in last time. It's now 25 Celsius, and then 3014 on the altimeter. So let's dial that in as well. All right. So we're going to get the seat belts within beyond ATC set. And then we're going to get our fuel. Let's see where I need to be here. Block fuel should be 5,100. A little over 5,100 pounds. So fuel's at 29. Alright. So we're pretty maxed out here. 5,400 pounds of fuel. Alright, we're going to get pitot tubes set. Going to get our beacon light on, put our logo light on the way it looks today. It's a little cloudy, so hopefully it won't be too bad taking off. Should just be able to pull out, and then runway 6, we're going to be heading out that way. Alright, I'm guessing... Oh no, I guess we're...
Hello.
Hi, Captain. How are you?
Hi there, I'm very well, thanks.
Great. We're just getting ready for departure. But if you need anything, just give me a call.
Thanks a lot.
No problem.
Alright, so we're awaiting permission, is what it says for passenger boarding. Again, aircraft loading still 13 minutes away. So, let's take a look. Still weren't done there. Whoop. See what she needs.
Hello.
Hi, Captain. Okay, so I've spoken to security and they've started checking in. But there's around another 10 minutes to go before we expect to be seeing any passengers.
Okay. Feel free to start boarding whenever they're ready to come on board. Let us know once you've started.
No problem.
Alright, so my hope is, given how quickly she's responding at this point, that it is doing what it should be doing. I've got everything on VNav. I'm a little confused again why I'm not seeing things, and it might just be, again, because there might be some discontinuity somewhere. So let's see, yeah, we've got one there. So if we go from Khmp-Kcon to that, execute. Hasn't done it yet. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to reach out to clearance. We have clearance here, where at the previous airport we did not. But we're actually calling to Atlanta, because we're in their airspace. We're a little bit south of Atlanta Airport. Atlanta clearance, request IFR clearance to Concord Municipal, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, Atlanta clearance, cleared to Concord Muni Airport. Radar vectors took, then as filed. Maintain 5000. Expect flight level tree 10, 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128. Squawk 5741.
Cleared to Concord Muni Airport. Radar vectors TWAP, then as filed. Maintain 5000. Expect flight level 310 10 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128. Squawk 5741. Alright, so let's get everything into
Walker
the box,
4021,
as they
read
say.
that correct. Push or start at pilot's discretion. Hold for release. Report holding short runway 6.
Push and start at pilot's discretion. Hold for release. Report holding short runway 6. Walker 4021. Alright, and I'm hoping I also changed in self-loading cargo. I'm not WAE, which is how it has been coming up. I changed that to WAT as well. So I'm hopeful things will be in good shape there. Alright, so we've got that. We need to get 5,000 in here. And then we can do nav. Should be able to do VNav. Alright. I am missing what I am missing, is all I can say. Alright, so let me get the approach set up on the other end with what we've got. We don't have any wind reported, which is probably wrong. It's just probably too small of an airport. Temperature is only 13. We are headed up to New Hampshire after all, so. And then 3023 is the altimeter there. Okay, and that should give us what we need. So let's see, takeoff. Do I have V speeds? I do. Alright, so to my knowledge, we don't have any limits at TWAP and all that. So we're expecting 7 passengers, is what self-loading cargo is telling me. 6 are checked in. Obviously, none have started boarding yet. Okay, we're going to set flaps to 15 for takeoff. That will be good there. And then should be all set. I never figured out why I lost my map down here, but I did, obviously. Alright, I'm trying to adjust my... Oh, my controller just went off right as I was starting to use it. Like, I'm trying to adjust my trim. I don't know why it's not happening. Alright, but you can see we've got almost 40 nautical miles to TWAP. You know, it's telling us 5.5 hours. That seems a little extreme, but I know it's 800 nautical miles, but obviously something's off. Doesn't know how fast we're going is part of the problem, so. Ah, yes, let me get my squawk in there. I did not do that before. So then we won't have that problem, because otherwise that will absolutely be a problem. And we'll get the range dialed in here to a higher view so that we can kind of see where we're going. I think we can go a little, no, that's as far as we can go, so that'll work. It's almost too much, but I think it'll be alright. Alright, so as we get a little closer and stuff starts to happen, I will hop back in here.
Ground copy.
Alright, here we go.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Clear enough, 4 out of 5.
Okay, Captain. Radio check, complete. We'll contact you once the ground vehicles arrive, and we're ready to start loading.
Roger!
Holy moly. I'm awfully excited with that. I don't know that I can handle that every time, but it'll be alright. It's pretty loud in my ears. Hopefully it wasn't too crazy for you. But yeah, they're expected to load. So let me contact the
Cockpit
ground
to
crew
ground.
about the APU.
Go ahead.
We're starting the APU now. Stand by for ground power disconnection in a few minutes.
Roger.
All right. Alright, and we're waiting for engine startup, obviously, until we've got passengers and so forth, and then we'll go from there. We're supposed to depart in 6 minutes, so we'll see how everything goes, because last time self-loading cargo crashed on me. Hopefully now with the update that happened kind of mid-episode last time, we won't have that issue, and that things will work well. But yeah, 7 passengers are checked in, so everybody is here at the airport. They're just waiting
Ground to cockpit.
for things to be allowed.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Just a quick update to let you know that we've started loading. We'll send the final load sheet up once we're ready.
Roger.
My goodness.
Cockpit to ground.
I don't know that I can get used to that.
All stations, prepare to start boarding.
Okay, I'm just telling him about the GPU. Ooh, really bad.
Please disconnect ground power.
Roger. Stand by, please.
Alright.
Ground power has been disconnected.
Roger.
Ground to cockpit.
Alright, we're gonna check internally.
Hello?
Hi, Captain. We've started boarding now, and the passengers are being seated.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. So now let's see what the ground people want. They may be done.
Go ahead.
Alright, the
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We'll
Alright.
contact you once the aircraft
Get ready to
loads up,
scream.
and we'll get you.
Roger.
Alright, let's...
Hello?
What? I don't know that I hope you guys enjoy it. It's funny.
Hi, Captain. Okay, we've received the load sheet from ground. There's the passenger count, the crew count, and the total souls count. Plus yourselves, of course.
Thanks.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, great. You can close the doors whenever you're ready.
Okay, I'll let the crew know, and we'll get closed up as soon as we can. All stations, please close doors.
Good morning from the cockpit. This is your captain speaking. My name is Bob, and I'd like to welcome you on board this Walker Air Transport flight to Concord. Our flight number this morning is WAT 8530. We're currently preparing for departure up here in the cockpit, and once we're airborne, we'll be climbing to our cruise level of 31,000 feet. We hope to depart very shortly. We're not expecting any delays. Once we push back from the stand, the cabin crew will start securing the cabin. As we head to the departure runway, please make sure you're seated and secured as they make their way around the aircraft.
Okay, I'm going to start
The weather is not looking
getting
particularly
air
brilliant,
going.
so it
Or
might be a little
engines going.
uncomfortable at times as we climb to our cruise level. There's nothing to worry about. Just make sure you keep an eye on the seatbelt sign, and I'll turn it off once we're in clearer air. Once we're airborne, there shouldn't be any issue during our climb. It's a pretty straightforward departure out of the airport, so nothing to worry about there. The wind forecast during our cruise looks very favorable, so we expect to arrive on time at our destination, but we will of course keep you up to date should there be any changes. If you could get yourself seated and secured in the meantime, we'll be able to make a departure as soon as everything is ready. Thank you very
Ground to cockpit.
Well, they just cut me off.
Go ahead.
Call me when you require pushback.
We don't require a push. We'll just start where we are, so feel free to disconnect.
That's a reminder. If you're using software to track your virtual airline flights, you might want to start it if you haven't already.
Roger!
Got it? Roger. All right, the transponder check is good.
Thanks very much. Pin straight ahead, and we'll see you again soon.
All right. So.
All stations, please arm doors.
All right. So we're all set. We want to, let's see, we want to ensure the safety announcement is allowed to play. We'll see. There we go. Safety announcement complete. Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board this
there we
Walker
go.
Air Transport flight.
All right. We're going to go
Please ask your
taxi.
attention as we
nav,
demonstrate the safety
strobe.
features on this aircraft. Please make sure your bags are either in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you. It's important to fasten your seatbelt, even when the sign is off, in case we pass through unexpected turbulence.
All right, let's get moving.
During taxi, takeoff, and landing, please fasten your seatbelt and make sure your seat is in the upright position. In case of depressurization, oxygen masks will
Case
fall
of
from above your seat.
depressurization.
These were yours first before helping
I hate
to
when
open
that
the
end
doors.
depressurization takes
In
place.
case of an emergency,
All right, we
there are
were
doors in the
moving.
front, middle,
I
and
don't
back of this
understand.
aircraft. Locate the one nearest you, and it may be behind you.
All right.
At this moment, please make sure your phone is switched to airplane mode, your seatbelt is fastened, and your seat is on its upright position.
Hello?
For further information, please read the safety information
Hi,
card
Captain. The cabin is
located in the seat
secured for
pocket in front of you.
takeoff.
Thank you for flying with Walker Air Transport.
You can take your
We wish
seats
you to
now.
sit
We're
back,
almost ready.
Relax,
No
and enjoy
problem.
your flight.
All right, because, yeah, there's no point in taking longer
All
here.
stations, seats for takeoff, please.
Okay, cabin secured. Seatbelt sign is on, so we should be fine. Let me just flip to the appropriate screen so I can see where I'm headed in the airport. More importantly, I can see my ground speed. It's going 15. We should be fine. In a plane like this, we can easily do the 30 or whatever that we normally would do. Whoops. Oh, I just have to tell them I'm short of runway 6. I'm like, I didn't request taxi instructions, but it's a small enough airport. They don't really require you to do that, so. All right, well, we're going 26, so we're going to slow down a little bit here. All right. So I think the next one is the end, yep. And we are in the right direction. I was just slightly worried. I'm like, am I going to 06? But I am. So, get ourselves slowed down to take that turn at a more appropriate speed here, because otherwise we're going to have really upset passengers. But yeah, we can't exceed 30 or we have a problem, so. All right. So I think, all right. So let me get the taxi lights off. Let me get the landing lights on, and then we are good to go. Holding short runway 6, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, request not understood.
Holding short runway 6.
Aircraft calling, did not copy.
Alright, well, we are going to take off and hope that it can tell we took off. And that, I don't know, it'll yell at us later? I'm not sure. So sometimes it'll have these issues at airports, so it's not unheard of. Alright, but we are all set. We're lined up. And we are now going. Like, self-loading cargo knows we're at takeoff, so I'm not quite sure why the other system has a problem. But it does. So we'll take a look at our weather.
100 KTs.
Alright. That would be knots, KTs. I don't know why it said that, but whatever.
Positive rate. Gear up.
Okay. So we're all set. It is not picking up that we are doing anything, so I'm not liking that. Alright, and now I should be able to do that. I told the cabin crew to be seated. It's telling me they weren't seated. Well, that's insane, but okay. Alright, so we're going to climb out now. And we should be all set. Whoops. Other than we're over speeding. But other than that, we're all set. Come on. Alright, I'm going to try to start beyond ATC in the interim here. I'm going to go ahead and clear myself to 31. Seem to have lost the ability to get this to work. It did let me say I was in climb, but then what it does is it asks you to get the clearance again, and then it's asking me to hold short, so I'm stuck in the same place I was. But, you know, we'll go ahead here. And we'll start climbing again. I'm going to turn off my flap, or retract my flaps. And then we should be good here. Just have to be careful that I don't overspeed. And then maybe once I'm past 10,000 or something, we'll try it again, and maybe it'll realize we're somewhere else. So, always something when you're doing all the add-ons. So, pretty quickly out of the clouds. We pass through pretty fast. So, relatively uneventful. Whoops. Let me slow down again. Again, do not want to overspeed. So I should be good here. I think I had 20,000 feet at Twoop, but I don't know that I'm going to get there, so. And I'm sure it's probably telling me that. Check altitude selector. I'm sure it's because I'm at 31,000 instead of 20, but we'll be fine. Alright, now I'm slowing down, so I'm going to speed up a little bit. Alright, we're going to do the
Good
climb
morning
to
once again
cruise.
from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. Just a quick broadcast to let you know that we will be keeping the seatbelt signs on for a few more minutes as we make our way through some bumpy air up ahead during our climb. Keep an eye on the overhead panel, and as soon as we're clear, I'll turn off the sign and you'll be able to move around the cabin. Thank you.
All right, so we're all set there. Not sure why it didn't give me the climbing to cruise thing. Let's see.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope all is well with you and you're enjoying flying with us so far. We're currently climbing up to our cruising altitude of 31000 feet, so I thought I'd give you a quick update. We're making good progress towards our destination and expect to arrive on time as planned. You'll next hear from me just before we start our descent. I'll be sure to keep you updated if anything changes, but in the meantime, please feel free to relax and take advantage of our onboard facilities. Thank you.
Alright, so hoping we'll be good. Let's try this again.
Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, 14,200.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, radar contact. Continue climb to flight level 310.
Continue climb to flight level 310, Walker 4021.
Alright, should be okay. So what I tried to do was to change to center without being told to do so. And then I was able to basically announce on the frequency. We'll see if that all works. Alright. And I don't know if the contrail we can see ahead of us, there is a Delta flight at, there's still they appear maybe at 35,000 feet. So, and they're kind of heading along our path. So that may be what we're seeing. We should be hearing crew getting ready to do some things. Let me release them, by the way. That will help. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captain has turned off the fasten seatbelt sign, and you are now free to move around the cabin. However, be aware as we might pass through unexpected turbulence. Toilets are located in the front and on the back of this airplane. If you need any assistance,
Ladies and gentlemen,
don't hesitate
the
to
captain
ask.
has turned off
We
the
hope you
seatbelt
enjoy
sign,
your flight.
which means you are free to move around the cabin. However, you are reminded that for your safety, we do recommend that you remain seated with your belt fastened at all times in case of turbulence or any other potential incidents that could occur during the flight. Thank you.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, in a few minutes we will be starting the in-flight drink service. If you could please ensure all aisles are clear and bags are placed in the overhead lockers, that would be much appreciated. Thank you.
All right, so we're kind of at the point now where 4 passengers of the 7 are secured. Everybody's still seated. Nobody's moving around to the toilets or anything. They do appear to be open. The crew has gotten that done and so forth, but we might be a little bit late on the drink service just because I didn't release the cabin crew as quickly as I could have. We've got 774 nautical miles to go. 2 hours and 21 minutes according to this. Now suddenly we've slowed down incredibly. I don't understand how we were overspeeding at 300 and now we're at 240. This is ridiculous. So, these planes are fun, I'll tell you that. Alright. Switch to standard because we've passed transition level of 18,000. So we should be good there. And then beyond that, pretty standard flight. Hopefully nothing too exciting will happen. Again, I'm likely to kind of bounce around a little bit here and there.
Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 1.
I'm glad we're getting that.
Have a good day.
124.45, Walker
We are
4021.
about to serve tea and coffee. Please clear any items from the aisle and make sure your tray
We'll
table
let
is
her
in the
finish.
position. Thank you.
Alright, well, she's done. So there you go. They're starting their service. And again, it's such a small cabin, I'm not really worried that we're going to have any issue. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 195.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger. Walker 4021, contact Atlanta Center 134.8, have a good day.
134.8, Walker 4021. Atlanta Center, Walker 4021, flight level 204.
Walker 4021, Atlanta Center, roger.
So, bit of a lake there. There's a Lake Hartwell kind of north. But not sure exactly which part we're at here, but you know, we're heading along to it. It almost looks like I have flaps down, but I don't think I do. But looks like kind of when we flew into Atlanta, we've got some coverage there, but now suddenly we have clear skies ahead, so it's a good thing. But, you know, we're heading up north. You never know what kind of weather we'll run into. So we'll certainly need to keep an eye out on things, that everything is going well. But yeah, drink service nearly done. Probably serving the last passenger right now, and then they won't have food service till 42 minutes, and then drink service will be like another hour and a half after this is done. So there you go, an hour and 27 minutes. So it kind of kept track of the fact that, hey, we started and it took 3 minutes, but the first drink service is over. I might make that one faster, although right now it's telling me I've got almost 2 hours left to fly. So I am going to go ahead and do that, keep things moving along, and once we get closer and we can start having some announcements, I'll jump back in. So I'll see you in a bit. We are going to get going.
Walker 4021, contact Boston Center 132.3.
So we're going to inform our crew.
Center 132.3, Walker 4021, see you. Boston Center,
Captain.
Walker 4021, flight level 310.
Walker 4021,
Just to let you know, there's
Boston
around
Center,
5 minutes to
roger.
go until we start descending.
Walker
In that case, we'll do a
4021,
final drink
contact Boston
service.
Center 134.3.
Some of the passengers are pretty thirsty.
Contact
Not a
Boston
problem.
Center 134.3, Walker 4021. Boston Center, Walker 4021, good day, flight level 310.
Walker 4021, Boston Center, roger.
Alright, then we'll let the people know.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. I hope you're enjoying the flight so far. We'll be descending in just a few minutes from now. The arrival weather forecast is looking good, so it should be a nice, easy approach into the airport. We're not expecting any delays, so we should be able to land fairly quickly. Once we do begin our descent, please listen to the cabin crew carefully and pay attention to any instructions they provide. Please also monitor the seatbelt sign during our approach. Thanks for flying with Walker Air Transport, and I'll speak to you again soon.
We are about to serve tea and coffee. Please make sure your tray table is in the down position and clear any items from the aisle. Thank you.
Alright, so basically, just before we get to Grecki, whatever it is, we want to start descending. So, I'm going to get this down, say, to 19. See, it went into path. It should, in theory, follow along. And let's see, at this point we've got Yeah, 2 of 12 have been served, 3 of 12. So, like, this should go pretty fast, so that's the good thing. It definitely runs through pretty quickly. But been about an hour and a half since I was last on with you, so, you know, definitely taken a little bit of time as we've gone through here. And, you know, been letting things that can go automatically, just been letting them do that. So let's see, between Bezek and then Grecki, you know, we'll have the top of descent. So, but Grecki looks like it's 17 miles away. So we just passed New York City. We kind of flew over a little bit south of Manhattan, and then turned, went up north.
Contact Boston Center 128.1.
And we're in
Contact Boston
Connecticut
Center
now,
128.1.
or over Connecticut.
Walker 4021.
So things moving
Boston
along.
Center, Walker 4021. Flight level 310.
Walker 4021, Boston Center, roger.
Alright, so now let's see. We've got the accurate descent notification, so I think we'll be okay. And then we do have, in theory, our time, but that obviously moves around a little bit. But obviously I'm not worried about that until I start my descent. Alright, services are done. So they did get the drink service done and all of that. So all of that work should be completed. I was a little worried. I did have to step away. And then came back with the hope that I'd be able to do it in time, which I seem to have been. Alright, and we're supposed to arrive at 14:20, and you can see in theory we're getting there at 13:53, so we're going to be not quite 30 minutes ahead of time. And again, that's assuming everything works, you know, according to plan. But there we go. We have started descending. So, we should be pretty good. So, let's see. Let's let air traffic know. Call ready for descent, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, turn right, heading 060, descend and maintain flight level 250, Concord Muni Airport landing runway 35.
060, flight level 250, landing runway 35, altimeter 30.23, Walker 4021.
Walker 4021, turn right, heading 060, vectors for the approach. Expect further clearance in about 4 or 5 miles.
Turn right 060, Walker 4021. And we're going 052, so I'm certainly not going to worry about that, because then when we get up at the next point, which is 32 miles away, we're making a pretty significant turn, probably to 80. Alright, so they gave me an accurate descent, so I'm hoping we get an accurate top of descent for the... we did. Alright, so it's giving us that information. Now we'll let them know we started our descent.
Good morning once again from the cockpit. As you may have noticed, we've begun our descent.
I'm going to go ahead and say we'll be arriving in 30 minutes.
We should be arriving in around 30 minutes, depending on local air traffic. And I will shortly be instructing the cabin crew to get the cabin ready for our arrival. Once that happens, the seatbelt sign will be illuminated, and you will be required to stay seated and secured until after landing. If you need to visit the toilet, it may be worth making your way towards one now. For now, though, I will wish you a very good morning once again, and I'll speak to you in a short while once we've landed.
Alright, so we'll let them do their thing for a bit. We're only at 27,000. We're supposed to get clearance in 45 miles. We're about 117 miles away from the airport at this point. So, you know, it looks like we'll get to the end here. I'm a little confused because I thought I had... I guess I do. It's hard to see that I thought I had already picked an approach, but it's a little bit off. So, past the next waypoint. Oh goodness, we are speeding again. I am terrible at this.
Altitude.
Alright, so we're going to speed it up a little bit again. Now it's interesting that it's going to level us out, but I'm not sure that... I mean, right now it looks like we're okay, but you would think they would call us in to descend a little bit more. Alright, and we'll see how we do, because again, it was like 19-20 minutes, but, you know, we know we're going to be slowing down and so forth, so... So I'm just not sure where the 45 minutes is going to come into play. Alright, I need to speed up here. Otherwise, we're never going to get going. Alright, well, I'm gonna keep descending because yeah, see, it's not giving me a path anymore because I think we're off, so we might get air traffic a little bit irritated, but yeah, this is a little bit nuts the way it's been going, so... And I think the half an hour will be closer to than the 20 minutes, because in theory it was showing me like 18 or 19, but that's assuming you're moving at whatever speed we were moving. And that's just not going to happen. So we're going to have a 68 nautical mile leg once we get from Swallow, which will be kind of the end of the waypoints, and then that'll get us to the ILS. Just about heading into the Massachusetts border here, but we've got a little ways to go. Because, yeah, what I'm unsure of, and it might be once we get to Swallow, that might be the 45 minutes. Oh, now it's coming on now.
Walker 4021, contact Boston Center 127.65. Have a good day.
127.65, Walker 4021. Boston Center, Walker 4021, flight level 233. Let's see if it gets mad at
Walker
us.
4021,
All right.
Boston Center, Roger.
Alright, so we're going to turn pretty soon here, and then, like I said, then we're going to be heading that little stint, as you can see. So yeah, it's 22 miles, but it's going to be 0.8. It looks like
Walker
heading
4021,
85.
Turn right, heading 085.
And there you go.
Expect further clearance in about 27 miles.
Turn right 085, Walker 4021. So we're heading exactly where it wants us to go. 27 miles is a little bit further than I would expect something, but you know, by then we'll be we'll be rotating, so I'm sure we'll be all right. All right, and it was 30. So now I need to take a peek here. What was it, 30? It didn't actually store it for me, so let me look. We're at 3026. So I want to dial that in so that once we transition that we're good. But yeah, we're down to 15 already. So I'm hoping I'll be close on the time. That would be nice. Alright, well, I am going to keep going further, because that makes sense. Especially since it looks like I'm not fast enough. I'm not at the point I need to be, so we're going to descend a little quicker. So hopefully the pitch angle won't be too bad. Shouldn't be terrible, but we'll see how everything goes. But I think we're, I don't know, it looks like it's climbing up a little bit, but I'm really not sure that it is. Yeah, I guess it is, because now we're starting to see some things. But just about, because we're, what, 7 miles away? And again, we're speeding up a bit here, so... But we'll see if by the time we're at 18, if we haven't kind of caught up to where we need to be. This would be nice if it could pick up the V-path. I do have to remember to turn on the seat belts before I make the announcement to prepare for arrival, so probably need to do that soon, so let me do that. Alright, and we are going to prepare the cabin for landing.
Prepare the cabin for landing.
Alright, and there we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are about to land. Please make sure your seat is on its upright position and your seatbelt is fastened.
So this is the Walker Air Transport notice.
Walker 4021, turn left, heading 040.
Turn left 040, Walker 4021. Is that about? Yeah, it's 045, so that'll work. And now, in theory, we wait for the secured cabin.
Descend and maintain 3,400, altimeter tree 02 tree.
Back this off. Descend and maintain 3,400, altimeter 3023, Walker 4021. Okay, I need to get below 250 by the time we get to 10,000.
Descend and maintain 3,400.
That's what I said. Descend and maintain 3,400, Walker 4021. Alright. So we'll get ourselves down here. Get that set. Should be good. Alright, and at this point I should be able to maybe speed up a bit. See if we can stabilize our speed around that point. Again, if we go down a little bit, that's fine. But we just don't want to keep falling very quickly. Alright, now it looks like it got V-path. Alright, they may be telling me the cabin's secure.
Hello!
Hi, Captain. We're ready for landing. The cabin is secured.
We're almost ready, actually, so you can take your seats now.
No problem.
Alright. That way I don't have to worry about doing it later.
All stations, please
We're
be
really
seated
not
fully.
that far, so... And then we'll have landing, final approach. But yeah, now it's on the V path again, so we caught up, and it kind of locked itself in. Which is good, you know, autopilot's good for that kind of stuff.
Walker 4021, contact Boston Center 123.75.
123.75, Walker 4021. Boston Center, Walker 4021, 14,000 feet. Let's see if it takes it. I doubt it. I was going to say tell altitude. I wonder if I say altitude ahead of time. It just doesn't seem to pick it up.
Walker 4021,
Nah.
say altitude.
13,600.
Walker 4021, Boston Center, roger.
Alright, so I can probably speed up a little bit. Because now we're below, but you know, we're still 57 nautical miles away. So we've got a ways to move here, and you can see, you know, 48. But then we're basically going to turn, I don't know, it's not going to be 90, but it's going to be a good 45 or so back beyond the 0 point. So it might be closer to like a 60-degree turn. But we're just about on a north-south level, just about level with Boston. So I don't know if we're going to stay on with Boston for landing or if we're going to get transferred to something else. I don't think Concorde has its own tower and things like that. I think, report card-wise, from self-loading cargo, I think this flight is done quite well. So we'll have to see. I mean, I've had to start beyond ATC again, but I haven't had to start self-loading cargo up again. So last episode and last leg, I had to do that, but this appears to have functioned a bit differently. But obviously we're over Massachusetts. So, and we got Boston kind of straight out east to the coast there. I don't know that we can really see the coast, but you know, all those little things are kind of Boston suburbs and so forth, because we probably only have 50 or 60 miles to the coastline. But it's all gone well, which is good. I mean, that's what we want. We want just uneventful, kind of smooth flights. Alright, now I'm going to back off a bit because now I'm going to top out above 250, and that's not what I want to do. Alright, now we're falling again, so that's fine. And then we shouldn't get any kind of an overspeeding warning. So it's been a little while. Just seems like I'm worried the half hour is not even going to be right. This is crazy. Alright, let me get the landing lights on. Make sure that is set. So we want to do that as we get through 10,000. I've got the seatbelt on already. But now we're definitely at
Walker
that point.
4021, contact Boston approach 127.35.
127.35, Walker 4021. Boston approach, Walker 4021, 9,600.
Walker 4021, Boston approach, altimeter tree 02 tree, expect the visual approach runway tree 5.
Visual approach, runway 35, altimeter 3023, Walker 4021. Alright, so we may have nothing before we turn. Now we're going to be on kind of short final once we land, so I definitely want to be kind of careful as we're heading in there. Let's see, will it let me do approach? No, not right now. Interesting. Wonder why not. So where does it have our limit? 2,500, but I think that's because I entered that. I don't know if that's legit. Oh no, those were there, so we need to be above 2,500 at, what is it? Is that at Chefchich? I don't know. It's Charlie Foxtrot, Charlie Hotel Victor. So probably a little harder to state what that one is. But I'm going to keep myself moving here because otherwise we're really going to take a while. I mean, we still have 25 nautical miles to go to that waypoint. And again, we need to be above 2,000 right now. We're cleared by ATC to 3,400. I'm assuming that's going to change before we get nearby, but I don't know. So but I can probably zoom out a bit here. See if we can get a little further. So there we go. So you can see we're pretty close. You know, we're going to have maybe 10 miles, 10 or 12 miles when we hit that point. So not a lot. So we definitely want to be as set as we can be. But I don't think I'm going to start configuring flaps or anything until we get a lot closer. So passengers seem pretty happy. Overall experience is saying good flight. They sound happy, right? So we're crossing the Massachusetts, I guess it'd be New Hampshire border. And as you can see, it's telling us 7 minutes to the airport, but I don't think that's going to be quite accurate, but hey, you never know. I mean, it's doing it based on our speed now, and that is where we're at. You know, my tracking system said approach started at 8,400 with 36 nautical miles to go, so it thinks we're on approach. About 15 miles to the checkpoint. So, also trying to figure out if we're not on the scope yet.
Left, heading 020.
Well, I'm not going to do that, but okay. 020, Walker 4021. Yeah, so right now we're heading, I'm assuming that's Kilo Mike Hotel Tango that we're seeing there. We're going to pass that airport before we turn. We're basically going to be turning at these lakes is where the 12-mile point is. And again, so that's where we want to be above 2,000 feet, 2,500 feet. we're getting darn close to overspeeding again, so let's get that fixed. We're at the outer marker. Alright, in theory I should be below 250, I think, again, so I'm getting flagged even though I'm not overspeeding there, but yeah, we'll see. Alright, so now I'm okay. Because, yeah, even at 255 it kind of flagged me.
Altitude.
Alright, now can I do approach? Alright, so now it's still giving me the localizer and glide slope. So that's good. We're now, you know, close enough that it thinks it senses things. According to Navigraph, just under 17 nautical miles from the airport. So, I mean, this number is about what I'm seeing. So I think this is Manchester, is the city that we're flying over, and we're just about obviously ready to turn here.
Walker 4021, airport is at your 11 o'clock 17 miles. Report the field in sight.
Do I see it, is the question. Not sure that I do. I think it's there.
Walker 4021, airport is at your 11 o'clock 17 miles. Report the field in sight.
Field in sight, Walker 4021. So again, we know we're going to get vectored in by our autopilot, so... But I'm pretty sure
Walker
it's...
4021, cleared visual approach runway tree 5.
Cleared for runway 35, Walker 4021. Alright, so we're going to put flaps out at this point, get ourselves slowed, speed up on the engines a bit, because yeah, now we're at 10 miles, so we're definitely getting close. Yep, now we can definitely see the runway, so there it is. Get our landing monitor up. Alright, 2900. Okay, it should lock in the glide slope at some point. And then that, there we go. So now that will start descending us appropriately. We'll put gear down now. That'll slow us down more. And then we'll eventually get full flaps, but we're down to 2600. Once we hit 25, we're going to start getting some info.
No tower services available at Concord Muni Airport. Frequency change approved.
Walker 4021. Let's see if it takes that. Okay. Because there's really nothing it's telling me that I have to acknowledge, so that's why I was like, I think we're good. Alright. Full flaps. And then we'll see how slow it gets us down. But at this point, then that should help us stabilize. Kind of on the approach here. So 20, approaching 2100. Gonna get, I think we're gonna fly over that bend of the river, if I was to guess. The real question is, again, are we going to be where I need to be for time? I guess time will tell, right? But other than that, I think we've had a really solid flight with the self-loading cargo score sheet. So I'll review that as always on flights that I use it on, so that you'll be able to see. Alright, so OM you can see flashing on the PFD, that's outer marker. Just about 5.5 miles out here. I know it's reporting sooner, but... Alright, let's see. I think we're alright. So, what was it, 4.2 according to my instruments? It's 4.6 according, almost 4.7 according to Navigraph. So I'm sure Navigraph's like in the center of the airport, where this may be reporting the end of the runway or something. So I could understand. I'm sure the runway's at least a mile long. I think these are 6,000 foot runways, or this is a 6,000 foot runway. This airport, I think, has one runway. So, not multiple choices, but one runway, but it does have ILS, which is nice. So, fully configured, wheels down, be passing over that industrial park with less than 1,000 feet above ground level. We'll see, maybe at 500 or 300 we'll let it go. We couldn't get a wind report again, so I don't know exactly what the winds are here. But we're not going super fast, 120 knots or so. So there we go. We've broken the 500 foot mark. Will we clear the trees before we break 300? Not sure. At least visually on the dashboard, I hope so. But we may not. No, we're already below 300 now. Happy lights look good. Alright, well now it fell away a bit, so now we're at about 300.
Autopilot.
Alright, so we're going to bring this thing in, turn off the engines, or set them to idle. Not really turning them off, but you know what I mean. 36, 17, flare up, whoops, we're floating a bit. Oop, we bounced. Don't like that. Alright, we should be able to slow down. I really didn't think we did, but we must have a little bit. So, touchdown at 52 feet per minute. Pretty good.
Ladies and gentlemen,
right.
We have reached our destination. Please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the aircraft is parked and the fasten seatbelt sign is off. Please be careful while opening the overhead compartment, as items might head fall during the flight. Our staff will help you complete your walker journey, and if you need any help, please don't hesitate
Cabin
to ask.
crew, please set doors to manual.
On behalf of our crew and all the team, we thank you so much for choosing flying with Walker Air Transport. We hope to see you again soon and wish you a pleasant stay. Thank you.
Try to get ourselves moving again here. Alright, so we've disarmed the doors. Plenty of planes here.
Ladies and gentlemen, please remain seated until the captain turns off the seatbelt sign. Once that happens, we will start deboarding and you'll be able to leave the aircraft. Thank you.
Alright. So we should be... Oh yeah, we're past. So, gonna go ahead and set the parking brake, which we have done. Get the flaps up. And then turn off landing. The beacon light. Just get all the lights off. Alright. So, should be okay. We'll get the engines turned off. Alright, there we go.
Ground to cockpit.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Microphone check is 5 out of 5.
Roger. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Roger!
The excited pilot. Roger. It's the only thing I don't like about this voice, but I can't keep changing voices or I'm going to use up too many things, so
Ground to cockpit.
I think we'll just have that going.
Go ahead.
Hi, Captain. Okay, all bags have been offloaded. We're closing up now. We'll speak to you next time.
Roger!
Alright.
Cabin crew. The aircraft is secure. Please open the doors when ready and begin deboarding.
Alright.
Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you don't forget
Ladies and
any
gentlemen,
items on this
I'd
plane.
like to wish you a
If need
safe
any help,
onward
our
journey and
staff
hope you
will be
enjoyed your
punctual
flight
to
today.
give you any
Thanks for
assistance.
flying with us,
We
and we
wish
hope
you a
to see you
pleasant
again soon.
onward journey.
Alright. So, sometimes they go back and forth, so wow, an A minus. So, I like it. So, we lost some,
Hello.
Hi.
but shouldn't sound excited.
All of the passengers have been offloaded. Brilliant landing, by the way. We barely felt anything.
We aim to please.
If you need anything more, just give me a call.
Alright.
Ground to cockpit.
Okay. The ground to cockpit, I can't talk to the ground crew anymore, so let's see. Alright, so our flight report, 1780 out of 1930. Alright, well, yeah, we had the airspeed problem. I guess we turned a bit, we went down too fast. G-force is interesting. And then yaw velocity. So I must have turned pretty sharply at some point during taxi. But boarding and landing. So I guess we held too long. We lost some points there. Forgot to tell the cabin crew to be seated, they said. Accurately predicted, but somehow we lost a point. And then taxi speed and movement were good on the back end. But overall, you know, not bad. So we were planning on 1420, we arrived at 1403. So yeah, as far as our let's see, accurate announcement, so we were within 6 minutes of the estimate. So not bad. Oh, that was the descent, but now I'm looking for the accurate landing time accuracy. Well, we accurately predicted. I mean, it gave it to us, so sounds pretty good. That gets us all set. I probably actually parked okay, because I'm a lot bigger plane than these guys are. So, the cleaning crew is done at this point. So, and so am I. So, I'm going to go ahead, get off the plane, and everybody will go enjoy the race, and we'll be back here for the next leg when it's time. I think July keeps us pretty busy. In 2024, there's some break for the Olympics, but in 2022, that wasn't the case. But if you've enjoyed this and haven't dropped a like, please consider doing that. If you are not a subscriber, please consider that. And I will see you next time.